The Nintendo Switch 2 has been out for about a month now, and it's bigger than any Switch device previously. And it's actually been a big improvement when you use this device in handheld mode without any grips or any assistance. But the Switch 2 really does do a better job. It's bigger overall. I think I have medium to large hands, and it does a better job. But I still have issues where I need to hold on to something more than what I already have with the Switch 2. And that's where a grip comes in. And that's where Savage Raven comes in. If you didn't know, formerly known as Skull & Co., one of the titans in the grip market. You're not going to find them in your Targets, your Walmarts, and stuff like that, but that's okay because you can find them on their website. They're also on Amazon. You can pick them up wherever you want. Full disclosure, I am currently sponsored by them on my podcast channel. And by the way, if you want to check out my podcast channel, we record that podcast live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're actually recording an episode tonight, so I got my podcast shirt on tonight. We're currently sponsored over there. It's just a fair warning in terms of, not a warning, that's the wrong word. Just I want to inform you guys. This is going to be a completely, it's biased to my opinion, of course, 'cause that's what biased is, but it's not going to be a paid advertisement for Skull & Co. Savage Raven. The grip is incredibly important in handheld mode. If you, again, like I said, if you don't play your Switch in handheld mode, maybe grips aren't for you, but if you do play it in handheld mode, the Switch does get a little bit cumbersome, a little bit heavy, especially this new Switch 2. What's cool about this grip in particular is that it does come with different size grip handles. I use these ones right here. I use these trigger style grips, but these are the ones I go with. They're not the biggest grips that they send in the kit, but they're the ones that have the most to hold on to with these trigger styles where your fingers will rest perfectly. These are the best grips I think you can get in the kit. They also come with the fat grips right here. These are the biggest grips that come in the kit, but they're just kind of round and bulbous. Not my favorite grip style. And they also come with these small grips right here. These small grips are going to be best for their slim cases, so you can still use a grip with a slim case. And I almost forgot, I have a second one here from Skull & Co. Savage Raven. This is going to be the red and blue look right here. As you can see, it comes with the kind of pastelish new colors of blue and red, and it looks really good. I do like the way it looks with the colors. It matches it pretty well. Of the sticks on the Switch 2. I've actually been rocking this black one as of late. I am really digging this all black, this blackout look. There's the pop of colors with the black. I actually have been really liking this one a lot, but this one also is really solid. It gives a nice little splash of color. And those are the two options that you can buy right now. I know in the past, Skull & Co. Savage Raven have released special editions for Tears of the Kingdom, GameCube style grips. It's all purple. They've done a ton of stuff, and I'm sure in the future there will be more special editions coming from Savage Raven. It is one of the few grips out there that is dockable, that as they advertise. There is a few out there. I know Genki advertises dockability with their new grips. D-Brand also advertises that, but both of those grips struggle with docking. Now, D-Brand, I don't know if they sell it to you or they just send it with you with the grip. I don't know, but they send you an adapter. I don't have it with. Of course, I didn't buy that ridiculously expensive thing, but they do sell you an adapter that goes on your existing Switch 2 dock that allows you to dock their case with their adapter, but you can't just do it like you can with the Skull & Co. Savage Raven. This one has been the best implementation of a dockable grip I've ever used. This is perfect. This is better than the last gen Savage Raven Skull & Co. Dockable grip. This goes in just as easy, if not easier, than the regular Switch does. It's truly this. I'm not just saying this. It really actually feels like a better experience docking it with this case on. But that's how smooth and easy it is to dock this thing. I love the dockability of this case. And while this is in my hand naked, it's super, super lightweight. Actually, and this has been one of my biggest criticisms of this grip in the past. I mean, the flex is obvious. And this is bigger than ever, the Switch 2, so the grip has to be a little bit bigger. And that just kind of adds to even more instability off the Switch. But in terms of on the Switch, this thing is not going anywhere. It's super solid on the Switch. I don't feel like it's going to fall off. I don't feel like it's flimsy. In the past, it's been a problem. I felt like on my Switch, it feels kind of flimsy, especially compared to its competitor Satisfy, which is not in-house yet. I'm probably not going to get that for another month or so. I pre-ordered it very early on, but we'll see if we get that. Hopefully in the next month or so we can review for you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay tuned to find out. I will compare these two grips when they come into my door. And again, while this grip is loose in my hand, I need to talk about a really big issue with this grip. I love that they've added this new system. If you've had this grip in the past, they have this little tab system where you can pop this little thing on top and it keeps your Switch stuck onto the grip. That's kind of the method it uses. Whereas, for example, Satisfy uses like rubber, which works great. This that does not use friction at all. In fact, it uses even less friction than last gen. It really does heavily rely on this little piece that you add on. And they've added a nice little lock, if you can see. Hopefully I have some better shots here. But they've added that nice lock system right there. So you can see that little tab. You can just push that left and right, and it's going to lock and unlock the grip from the Switch 2. I'm going to keep this one on the Switch right now because I have it there. Because I'll tell you what, the lock is nice to have when it works. But the lock doesn't always work. When you press it to the lock position, it slides right off. And in fact, I'm going to check this when I'm done recording. I was fiddling with this during some B-roll sessions, and I can tell you right now, it's not a good lock. It's not good enough, especially because it relies so much on it. And there's two issues, because I have two. I have the benefit of two and get to compare them. This locking mechanism is very easy to get on and off, which is very nice. That's why I use this one. This one has the opposite issue. Is this in the lock position? This is in the lock position. Let's turn this to the unlock position. And I have the benefit of leverage right now. As you can see, I'm holding onto it like this. But just imagine you have this thing on your Switch like this, and the only leverage you have is this. Right here, this little thumb I have, that's the only leverage you have. You get to push with this finger here and leverage. This is terrible leverage. Watch how difficult this is to get off. Did you see how difficult that was? I wasn't acting. Okay, let's put it back on. Okay, it gets a little, as I do this, it gets easier and easier. So maybe I need to keep doing this over and over, and some friction will kind of sand down a bit the parts. This is incredibly tight on here, whereas this one is incredibly loose. Another issue I've had with Skull and Coast-Raven in the past is quality control. As you can see, those issues are still present in this gen. I really hope it's better. So you can see right in there, they got some foam pads in there. None on the bottom area down here where the Switch potentially makes contact with the grip. So that's a little questionable choice of design. But in terms of it sliding on and off, these foam pads are going to make sure it's sliding on foam and not on plastic. So that's good, at least. Only time will tell if the bottoms of our Joy-Cons will get scratched from this. Because before, we had issues with scratching our Switches. My Zelda Switch OLED has a scratch on the back of it permanently. That seems to be kind of fixed in this gen. All right, but the biggest issue with the lock system is when you take out the lock and... actually, let me switch the camera down to below scene real quick. All right, the biggest issue with this locking system is the fact that when I tip this over, and let's give it a couple taps, it's going to make a fool of me now that I'm on camera doing this. No, it's making a fool of me right now. I promise you this lock, as you can see, this little tiny lock right there, if we flip it to the other side, as you can see on the other side, it's just kind of sitting in there. It is kind of hard to tell. It's not the easiest thing to look at, but I promise you, it's just sitting in there and it falls out constantly. And if you lose this lock, you're almost rendering your whole grip useless. The solution I've come up with is, it's not on this one, but I've actually just kind of put a little strip, the tiniest little strip of Scotch tape. Now it falls out. Now it falls out. You can tell. See, I'm not a liar. This little lock falls out all the time. I was just poking at it and it just falls out. It falls out when you're trying to take it on and off. And that's important because I'm playing Welcome Tour. I need the Joy-Cons on and off constantly. Speaking of which, you can't take the Joy-Cons out when it's in the Skull & Co. Neo grip, so that's a problem. For some people, but it's not if you can easily take it on and off. But this lock keeps falling out. So I put a little piece of Scotch tape on the back. The lock issue is an issue, and I just kind of wish they would designed it better. I wish the lock was a permanent thing. But again, it seems like it's 50-50. When you slip that lock button on, it locks 50-50% of the time. So it's kind of got equal negatives and positives. I would definitely promise you that the positives outweigh the negatives, though. If they can just nail down their manufacturing process with these locks, and make that so they don't fall out and they work more reliably, it's an absolute go on this grip. But I'll tell you right now, it is an absolute go, even with that issue, because there's no real competition on the market in its price range. Pound for pound, this is the best grip on the market. Once Satisfy comes out, now Satisfy is going to be a bit more expensive, but once it comes out, it actually has some competition in reasonably priced grips. But even still, this one comes in at around $20. It's on sale constantly on their website and on Amazon, so make sure to check it out. For around $20, this is an absolute go. It's a really great product. I'm going to show you another thing too. They actually sell this one. It's actually a little bit cheaper. This one's not dockable. That's a problem for me. This one's not dockable, but this is the stand case, and it does what it says. It's a stand. So right here, as you can see, it'll stand right up. When the Switch is inside of it, it will, where it has some counterbalance. As you can see right now, it doesn't stand up, but it's designed to stand. I wish they would have just designed it so the stand could be used on the Switch too. which by the way, this one is usable with a stand. I didn't mention that. This one actually is usable with a stand. So here you go. It stands right up. And in fact, it's better than last gen, because last gen, when you had the big grips on, it stood very poorly with the OLED stand. This gen, you can use this stand angle any way you want, which is a huge improvement over last gen, because last gen you pretty much had like this angle, and that was the only angle you had because the grips got in the way. But this gen, it works perfectly at most angles the Switch 2 offers. But yeah, the stand grip's actually really nice. It's a really nice TPU material. It's plastic, rubbery plastic. It has a cutout for the logo, which is cool, so you can see the Switch 2 inside of there. The grips are thin. Are they as thin as these? No. So they look about twice as thick as these guys, but not as thick as the bulbous boys, as you can see. So they're kind of like this grip size is actually kind of in between the biggest and the smallest that comes with the Neo grip. So that's actually, use that information for what you will. I need more to hold on to. This doesn't provide it for me, but it does provide some protection. If this was dockable, I would use this one over the Neo grip, because it just looks a little better in my opinion. It's a little more sleeker. The rubber feels really nice in the hands. I love the texture that's on these grips, the stand case. I just wish you could take the Joy-Cons out of this one, number one. And number two, it needs to be dockable. But this is a really solid product as well. And it's even cheaper, around $17 right now, give or take, depending on what the sales are right now. But this is a great product. I really do think so. It's an improvement in every way over its predecessor. And they've added some features that need some work, like this locking system. But other than that, it really does a great job. If you guys want to subscribe for more, I will be doing a review on the Savage Raven Max Carry case as well, because I am a huge fan of Max Carry cases. And this is probably, right? Actually, not probably. This is the best case, and it's affordable on the market for the Switch 2 right now. You can fit a ton of games in here, a lot of storage. We'll go over that in a different video, so subscribe to find out when that goes live. I got lots more video plans, guys. I have plans for the Switch 2 itself, its screen, its dock, and other things. So make sure to subscribe to hear more. And again, listen to the podcast every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Link in the description. Go check it out. I will catch you guys in the next one.